All visitors, please retire outside the rails. Please take all conversations outside of the council chambers. I note that the hour has come and that a quorum of this council is present. Before proceeding, I will ask all those present to please set your cell phones to silent and or vibrate. To give our invocation this morning, the chair recognizes Reverend Dr. Valerie Andrews, pastor of the Eternal Life Missionary Baptist Church in Southwest Philadelphia. She is here today as guest of Majority Whip, Councilmember Isaiah Thomas. I will ask all members and guests to please rise.
Let's pray. We're commanded in Scripture to pray for those who have authority, for those who lead us, that they may live quiet and peaceful lives and live with integrity. Gracious God, our Father, we come before you this morning in the precious name of Jesus, thanking you, Lord, for this city council, praying, God, even right now, that you would move by your Spirit. Thanking you, oh God, for our president, Lord. Asking, Lord, right now that you would touch in such a special way that, Lord, even when decisions are being made, that this council will look to you. We recognize that every last one of them, councilmen and councilwomen, are concerned about the affairs of this city. And so we pray even now that as things come to the table, that though they may agree, that they may be able to also disagree in love. We ask for wisdom, discernment, but God, give them a heart of compassion. We pray for mercy. We ask, God, that they would see beyond what they see, and that, Lord, when they don't understand, that they would seek your divine will. We ask, God, that you bless every staff person that works for council people. That, Lord, you would touch them in the name of Jesus, that, God, you would meet them where they are. We pray for every home that is represented here today. God, I don't know what's going on, but you know. We thank you for the city of Philadelphia, the city of sisterly and brotherly affection, but, Lord, we just ask that all that they do will, again, glorify your name. And when they glorify your name, the people will be blessed. Take care of every household that is here. Some may be sick in body, some may be sick in their mind, some may be sick in their spirit, but Lord, you are a healer and you are a deliverer. So move by your Spirit as only you can do. We say thank you for what is going to happen in 2026. We give you glory even now because we're expecting you to do a great thing in the city of Philadelphia. Have thine own way, God. We ask that you would undergird the councilmen and women, God, in such a way that they will have running in their feet, clapping in their hands, giving you glory and honor in all that they say and in all that they do. At the end of the day, we want you to say, Lord, well done, thou good and faithful servant. So, Lord, bless these your people as only you can. We pray this in the name of Jesus. Let our hearts say amen.
Amen. The chair thanks the pastor for the invocation. Council will now be at ease. Michelle, give me the name of the organization. Oh,
Okay, that's what you're gonna.
you good? What's up, Ellen? How y'all doing? The next order of business is the approval of the journal of the meeting of Thursday, February the 19th, 2026. The chair recognizes Majority Deputy Whip, Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, February 19th, 2026 be approved.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, February the 19th, 2026 stand approved. All in favor will indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the journal is approved. The next order of business is request for leave of absence, and the chair recognizes Majority Whip, Councilman Isaiah Thomas.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, colleagues, and thank you, Council President. On behalf of the majority, a leave of absence is requested from Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
The chair thanks the council member. Leave will be granted. The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you. On the behalf of the minority, there are no requests for leaves of absence today.
The chair thanks the councilwoman. The chair now recognizes Councilmember Isaiah Thomas for a motion concerning certain legislative matters that may arise during the course of today's session of council and that were not listed on the calendar circulated prior to today's council session.
Again, thank you, Council President. I move that any of the following matters, if considered today, may be added to the agenda for this session of council and, as required by law, subsequently published on an amended agenda after the consideration of those matters, resolutions authorizing hearings, amendments to bills of on first readings, the reconsideration of a bill vetoed by or recalled from the mayor, amendments to bills recalled from the mayor, resolutions taking substantive action to be voted on in this session, a motion to withdraw a bill or resolution that is not on the calendar, and a motion placing a bill or resolution on or returning a bill or resolution from the suspension calendar that is not listed on today's calendar. The purpose of this motion is to provide the public with notice concerning possible actions by council that arose too late to be included on the calendar that was not published prior to today's session.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the legislative matters stated by Councilmember Majority Whip Isaiah Thomas may be added to the agenda for today should those matters arise during the course of this session of council. All in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion carries. The chair will dispense with the regular order of business to recognize the guests and visitors joining us in chambers this morning. On behalf of all members of City Council, I welcome you to our council session. We appreciate you taking the time to join us as we attend to the legislative affairs of our great city. We certainly invite you to come again. The chair at this time acknowledges Councilman Ketty Lozada.
Thank you, Council President. I'd ask that the chamber please join me in welcoming and congratulating the team and coaches, families, and supporters of the Smedley Bulldogs Blitz cheerleaders. Please stand up. We are proud to honor the Smedley cheerleaders as the first Philadelphia public elementary school to compete at the Universal Cheerleaders Association Nationals in Florida. This team of 22 dedicated cheerleaders exemplify extraordinary commitment, perseverance, teamwork, and excellence. They have trained through countless hours of practice and prepared, promoting the school spirit and making their school, their families, and their city super, super proud. Thank you so much, Smedley. Congratulations to you. Go Smedley!
The chair at this time recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Council President, we have amazing guests in the chamber today, and it is my honor to welcome the Philadelphia Orchestra President Ryan Fleur and Chief Culture and People Officer Doris Parent as I present a citation recognizing its 125th anniversary. First-class city, first-class orchestra. As a Vice Chair of Global Opportunities and Creative Economy, I am proud to honor an institution that helps define Philadelphia's cultural excellence. So Ryan Fleur and Doris Parent, where is she? Somewhere there?
Please
There
stand.
you go. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I also recognize, with much pleasure, Angelo Perriman and his daughter, Angelina Perriman, for the legacy of Perriman Building and Construction and its lasting impact on Philadelphia. Under Angelo's leadership, the firm has delivered more than 1,000 projects, and on February 9th, 2026, he was elected by members of the General Building Contractors Association to become the chairman of the board. And this is the first time we have an African-American man leading this organization. So congratulations and thank you. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Dr. Nina, man. Just want to note for the record that the orchestra resides in the 2nd Councilmanic District on the Avenue of the Arts. The chair at this time recognizes Councilman Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to briefly welcome someone who we're going to be honoring next month. Let's welcome one of our newest chief inspectors of the city of Philadelphia. Chief Inspector Nicholas Smith is here with us today. And we're so proud of the work that he has done in the Northwest section. We were sad, a lot of us are neighbors in Northwest, to see someone who understood at its core the importance of community bonding with law enforcement and being responsive. He's a leader among leaders when it comes to the Philadelphia Police Department. He is not only just a hardworking professional, but he is congenial, and he's been able to really resolve a lot of issues in our neighborhoods in Northwest. So with Philadelphia, let's celebrate one of our best leaders, and we'll be celebrating him more next month, Chief Inspector Nicholas Smith. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phillips. The chair now recognizes Majority Whip Councilman Isaiah Thomas.
Good morning, Council President. Happy Black History Month. For those who don't know, our office has been in the position to have a lot of phenomenal interns this month, and some of them are going to be leaving us pretty soon. So I wanted to take a moment. We have 11 interns in our office. They're in the balcony area. Can all of you guys please stand up? Give them a round of applause. They've been working very hard all month. Thank you for the work you've been doing in City Council. We have interns from Temple, Drexel, Prep Charter, Sankofa Freedom Academy, and Commonwealth. Thank you, Council President. And thank you all for the great work that y'all doing.
Chair recognizes Minority Councilmember Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I decided since everybody is doing their honor, I want to make sure that I represent the Black farmers coming out of your district.
Please stand.
Carol Simmons, Nyoka Carr, Estelle Vaughn, Keela McFay, Carolyn Booker, and in honor of Miss Winnie Harris. These women and folks work really hard to keep farming and agriculture alive in Southwest Philly, and I just wanted to honor them in the spirit of Black History Month.
Welcome to City Council. Chair recognizes Majority Deputy Whip Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to, say a couple of things. First, I want to add on to Chief Inspector Nick Smith, who has just been just wonderful to work with in the Northwest. Congratulations on your very well-deserved promotion. Today, I'm also proud to welcome the championship boys basketball team of Imhotep Charter High School, who join us alongside their athletic director, Kevin Norris. Will these young men please stand? And I think that they may have been in the balcony. Imhotep Panthers. The Imhotep Panthers have made Philadelphia history, capturing their 6th consecutive public league championship through discipline, resilience, and true teamwork. If you had all watched the game last week against West Philadelphia High, Councilwoman Gauthier, you know it was a very exciting game down to the last minute, and we're introducing a resolution today to commend these outstanding student athletes, their coaches, and their families for representing our city with pride and distinction. Please join us again in congratulating the Imhotep Charter Panthers on their big win.
That's six consecutive championships.
Six consecutive. And I have to say, you know, it was very bold of my colleague, Councilwoman Gauthier, to offer a wager based on Imhotep's impressive history and reputation and work over the years. And so we look forward to her paying up on those cheesesteaks or whatever we're getting food from her office. So thank you, Councilman.
You're welcome. Okay, that's what's up.
Mr. President, can I also make mention that today?
Absolutely. Chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today we also have Pastor Clement Lupton, who we're recognizing as someone who has been holding down the North Philadelphia Logan area for many, many years. If he would stand, representing beloved St. John Church. Many of you know what it's a church. Many of you may remember it as a church across from Sid Booker's. You know, we'll put it in that context. So, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. The chair now recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones, Jr.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I want to recognize, last but not least, some students, scholars, and staff that are coming in from the Jack M. Barrick Hebrew Academy who have graced us today. One of the administrators there happens to be the better half of Josh Cohen, my chief of staff. Can we welcome the student and faculty?
Welcome.
I'd like to do a soft handoff to Rue Landau so it doesn't look like nepotism. So.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to recognize our city representative, Giselle Jones, who's in the house, and also Catherine Ott-Lavelle, the head of the Philly Visitor Center.
Can y'all let me do my job? At this time, I'll take the moment of personal privilege to acknowledge the Philadelphia City Council has partnered with Philadelphia Visitor Center Corporation and Philadelphia 250 to present a special preview of the city's Semiquincentennial something like that, celebrations in this chambers. And we're talking about schools now. As you can see by the display near the media platform, we've been loaned to two of the over 20 bells across Pennsylvania, replica Liberty bells that will soon grace our city's neighborhood corridors and landmarks. One of the bells is very special to me because it comes from Point Breeze within the 2nd Councilmatic District. The bell, entitled The Promise of What's to Come, was designed by artist Simone Salib in partnership with Point Breeze Business Association and Greater Philadelphia Community Alliance. The second bell will likely be the first bell that visitors to our great city will see when they visit this summer, as it will be placed in the Philadelphia Visitor Center on Independence Mall. It is fittingly titled We the People and was painted by artist Tara Jacoby in partnership with Visit Philadelphia. I would like to acknowledge Catherine Ott-Lavelle, CEO of the Philadelphia Visitor Center Corporation, for loaning us these bells for this special preview, and for all the work that Philadelphia Visitor Center and Philadelphia 250 are doing to prepare for the Neighborhood Center People Focus 2026 celebrations. I also would like to ask to join her at the podium is City Representative Giselle Jones, and also Michael Numis as well. Please stand with her.
Thank you so much to Council President and to all of you on City Council for your incredible support of our Semiquincentennial celebration.
I was going to run that back and just say it. I just spelled it out.
The 250th anniversary of the birth of our country. I want to start by thanking Mayor Sherelle Parker, who had an extraordinary vision for what our celebration can and should be, not just for all of the visitors that we anticipate coming to Philadelphia, but for our residents and everybody who lives and works and plays in our neighborhoods. So a huge thank you to Mayor Parker for not just having the vision, but putting the funding behind the vision to make all of this incredible work possible. I also want to thank Chief Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett-Harley, our City Representative Giselle Jones, and Office of Special Events Director, and our 2026 Director, Michael Numis. Philadelphia 250 is an organization that's been around for quite a while. I've been involved with this organization for the past year. The work that we're doing is hand in hand with our partners in the city, as well as communities across the city. We know that there will be celebrations that happen in the historic district of Philadelphia. We know there will be celebrations that happen at the sports complex with the World Cup and Major League Baseball All-Star Game. We know that there will be celebrations that happen along the Parkway and up at Lemon Hill. Our job at Philadelphia 250 is to ensure that those celebrations pour out into every neighborhood and every zip code of our city. And we're doing that in large part in partnership with community members. These bells that are here today and will grace City Council for the near future will soon go out into neighborhoods along with 25 other bells now. It keeps growing. There's so many bells around the city, and what these bells represent is not just our liberty and our freedom as a country. They represent the hopes and dreams and aspirations and traditions and histories and cultures of the communities that co-created them with artists from the Mural Arts Program. It has been an amazing project, and I want to acknowledge certainly Mural Arts, America 250 PA, our state commission that has these bells all over the Commonwealth. Over 100 bells will grace other counties throughout the Commonwealth. I also want to thank the School District of Philadelphia, who has lent us the space to paint these bells and to do a lot of our programs, a free warehouse where we're doing a lot of our work behind the scenes for Philadelphia 250. And I believe the head of the Point Breeze Business Association, Jamar Boardley, is here with us today. I want to thank Jamar for his and his community's work on making this bell really beautiful. So thank you so much. There is so much that is happening behind the scenes at Philadelphia 250. Not only do we have the Bells Across PA project, but we also are planning activations and beautification projects across 20 commercial corridors throughout the city. So you will soon see commemorative benches and bike racks and massive planters and street banners and other beautifications that we have come to know as expectations in Center City, but not in our neighborhoods. And you will soon see those beautifications grace 20 different neighborhoods along 20 main streets throughout our city over the next 6 weeks. We will also be amplifying events and festivals that happen along those commercial corridors, 20 of them, and we will soon announce a list of events that will happen along those commercial corridors throughout 2026. In addition to that, we are also curating, mapping, and scripting neighborhood tours. We know that people will want to visit the historic district, but we want to take them out to the real Philadelphia. We want them to get to know our city when they visit here in 2026 through our neighborhoods. And so we are working hand in hand with community leaders to curate 20 neighborhood tours. Every weekend of tourism season in 2026, a different free tour will go out to a different neighborhood throughout Philadelphia from May through October of 2026. We are also 2026ifying the block party. We will 2026ify 250 block parties throughout the city in 2026. We will soon be announcing how to participate in that program. The block party is a beloved tradition, and we just want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to supersize their block party and make it really special for this momentous year. We also have some legacy projects that we're working on with our Women's Committee. There are over 300 women who have joined a Women's Committee for the 250th. One legacy project is a partnership with the Women's Opportunity Resource Center. It's about supporting women financial entrepreneurs through a pitch competition that we'll be announcing soon in May. And then the other is the restoration and reimagining of the Belmont Mansion and Underground Railroad Museum in West Fairmount Park. This is the only property in Fairmount Park that has been led and stewarded by 3 generations of African American women. And our hope is to make this a legacy project for 2026 and to invest major capital resources and programmatic resources to transform this asset and truly make it the destination that it so deserves to become, not just today, but into the future for our city and for our park. So we're incredibly excited about that project as well. Lastly, about a year ago, we introduced a program called the Fambassadors. The Fambassadors is an opportunity for every Philadelphian to join in the work and the mission that we have at the Philadelphia Visitor Center, which is to connect visitors with the incredible experiences of Philadelphia and with authentic and memorable experiences and people. The Fambassador program is really just an opportunity for everyday Philadelphians to sign a pledge, your undying and everlasting love for Philadelphia, and to spread that love to everybody you meet who visits our city in 2026. Our goal was to get to 10,000 Fambassadors by the end of 2026. We are nearing 9,000 Fambassadors, which is absolutely amazing. And this summer, we will introduce a youth Fambassador program where we will employ young people working with Jeffs and Temple University, employ young people to work as Fambassadors this summer, be spread out across the city, learning how to greet people and potentially pursuing careers in the hospitality and tourism industry beyond that. None of this work would be possible without the incredible staff, of course, at the city, the Department of Commerce. We have been meeting weekly with the Commerce Department and many other city departments for almost a year. And I also want to thank our staff at Philadelphia 250. Elka Battle-Murillo is the Vice President for 2026 Initiatives. Another face that is no stranger to this body is Patty Gillette, who is our Director of Community Programs, and all of the staff at Philadelphia 250 and the Visitor Center. We are so grateful to you, and to each and every one of you City Council leaders, thank you for your extraordinary support of this work. It is going to be a banner year for Philadelphia and one that will give us incredible benefits for many years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our council's ambassador for all things 2026 for the Semiquincentennial, acknowledging Councilmember Isaiah Thomas. Thank you very much for your leadership on this topic. Council will be at ease, and members, we will take a pictures with the bell. good? We rocking and rolling today. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau, who will present a resolution on my behalf honoring and congratulating Nicole Cashman, founder and chief executive officer of Cashman and Associates, on the occasion of the firm's 25th anniversary, and recognizing her remarkable contributions to the business community and cultural vitality of the city of Philadelphia. Would Nicole Cashman and those accompanying her please come to the podium? Joining Councilman Rue Landau are the following council members: Councilmember Squilla, Councilmember Lozada, Councilmember Jamie Gautier, Councilmember Mike Driscoll, Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Councilmember O'Rourke, and Councilmember Phillips. And I've known the work that Nicole Cashman has been doing in the early stages of her starting her firm, and it has gone beyond the business community, but most importantly, a focus on the contributions to make our city great. Councilman Rue Landau, the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Good morning, everybody. This is a resolution honoring and congratulating Nicole Cashman, founder and chief executive officer of Cashman and Associates, on the occasion of the firm's 25th anniversary, and recognizing her remarkable contributions to the business community and cultural vitality of the city of Philadelphia.
Whereas Philadelphia native Nicole Cashman began her career at Drexel University, where she earned a Bachelor of Science in Design and Merchandising with a minor in marketing, while completing a co-op internship at the flagship Saks Fifth Avenue in New York City. And
whereas she blossomed in her role as Public Relations Director for Bloomingdale's, coordinating communications and events for the New York and Boston regions, and was recruited as Director of Public Relations, Special Events, and Community Engagement for 28 Strawbridge stores in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. And
whereas Nicole founded her own Philadelphia-based firm, Cashman and Associates, in 2001. What started as a one-person startup has evolved over the past 25 years into a highly respected, woman-owned firm with national recognition, serving clients across different sectors, including hospitality, retail, tourism, and nonprofits. And
whereas Nicole Cashman's entrepreneurial success has earned her widespread recognition and honors, including the Philadelphia Business Journal's Women of Distinction Award, the Public Relations Society of America's Deanne White Award for Individual Achievement, the Drexel University Radkin Epstein Distinguished Alumni Award, the CCPA Real Small Business Award, and recognition as a women-owned business leader by the PHL Diversity and other regional organizations. And
whereas beyond her professional success, Ms. Cashman has demonstrated a deeply personal devotion to the city of Philadelphia through sustained civic engagement, including service on nonprofit boards and advisory committees, the provision of pro bono and reduced free public relations and marketing support to arts, culture, health, and community organization, active participation in citywide cultural and civic initiatives, and a long-standing commitment to mentoring emerging professionals and supporting Philadelphia-based institutions. And
whereas her commitment to Philadelphia extends beyond business, reflecting a genuine belief in giving back to the city that shaped her career, mentoring future leaders, championing local causes, and contributing her expertise to initiatives that strengthen neighborhoods and improve the quality of life for Philadelphians. Now, therefore be it.
Resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia, honors and congratulates Nicole Cashman, founder and chief executive officer of Cashman and Associates, on the firm's 25th anniversary and recognizes her remarkable contributions to the business community and the cultural vitality of the City of Philadelphia.
And be it further resolved that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Nicole Cashman in appreciation of her leadership and service to the City of Philadelphia. Congratulations.
The chair recognizes Nicole Cashman for remarks.
Thank you, City Council. I am beyond honored. I never dreamed that I'd be here 25 years later with my son and my husband and my mother and my right hand, Michelle Conran, who is my senior vice president and chief of staff, who's been with me 13 years. It has been a privilege to be part of the growth of the City of Philadelphia. It has been a privilege to know Council President and to have him recognize me earlier in my career. It's a privilege to be in the same room as City Representative Giselle Jones, who has been a mentor and friend since day one, and everyone on her team. And Catherine Ott-Lovell, I've had such an amazing run, and I'm just getting started. I know it's impossible to believe that it's been 25 years, but it has, and we are going to continue to make this city what it needs to be. We're going to continue to shine a national light on all the good things that we do, whether it's health, education, community, lifestyle, tourism, hospitality, all the things that make a city great. So again, I'm humbled and I appreciate this beyond. So thank you.
Councilor, be at ease.
She's the queen.
It's my spot.
Get back to South Philly, Anthony.
I know, we're trying to get up front.
At this time, the chair recognizes Councilwoman Jamie Gaultier, who will present a resolution expressing support for Jerome Richardson and our First Amendment rights in the face of political persecution against protesters by the Trump administration. Would Jerome Richardson and those accompanying him please join the council member at the podium? Joining Member Garcia at the podium are the following members: Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips, Councilmember Jeffrey Young, Councilmember Ruth Landau, Councilmember Brooks, Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke. This the brother that was with Don Lemon, but I'm gonna let Jamie handle that. The floor recognizes Councilwoman Jamie Gautier.
Good morning, everyone. For 250 years, Philadelphia has been leading by example, encouraging our fellow Americans to use their voice to speak truth to power and fight for justice. Now it is up to us to carry this torch. That means locking arms with young people like Jerome Richardson, who, along with journalist Don Lemon and several others, is being targeted by the Justice Department for documenting the ICE occupation in his hometown, St. Paul, Minnesota. Jerome should be enjoying his last few months as a student at Temple University before entering the working world. Instead, Trump is exploiting the full weight of the federal government to make an example of Jerome. Trump knows that what he's doing is not just unpopular, it's antithetical to American values. And he's trying to make an example out of Jerome to scare us from standing up and speaking out. But an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. Jerome, I wish you didn't have to be here today. But know that Philly has your back, and we will support you as you face the bully in the White House. While the symbolism of this resolution presentation sends an important message, I know that you need more than words to get through this. So if you are able, I encourage my colleagues and the listening public to join me in donating to Jerome's Legal Defense Fund. You can learn more by going to Jerome's Instagram, @officiallyjerome. I also want to thank my co-introducers, Minority Leader Kendra Brooks, Councilmember Ruth Landau, Minority Whip Nicholas O'Rourke, and Councilmember Jeffrey Young Jr. for all the work you've been doing behind the scenes to help Jerome. We stand with Jerome, we stand with Minneapolis, we stand with immigrants, and we stand with every single American and city under occupation by Trump's anti-American, white supremacist, masked secret police force. United we stand, divided we fall. We are here to say that, just like we did 250 years ago, that Philly chooses to stand. We will now read the resolution.
Whereas Jerome Richardson is a senior majoring in political science at Temple University, a saxophone player, and a Christian, he's also an active youth leader that advocates for civil rights and community engagement. And whereas, like many Americans, Jerome Richardson is deeply troubled by the increasingly violent and un-American tactics being used by ICE and other federal agents in cities across the United States, including violence, even lethal force against protesters. And
whereas Jerome Richardson, along with Don Lemon and several others, were arrested and indicted by the federal government for exercising their First Amendment rights. And
whereas we should be focused on, whereas when he should be focused on graduating and enjoying his final months as a student, TU, Jerome Richardson now has to face a federal indictment.
And whereas, as the birthplace of America and modern-day democracy, Philadelphia is proud of our heritage as a place where residents have always spoken truth to power and stood up for our freedom of speech, freedom of protest, and other protected First Amendment rights. And Jerome Richardson is a continuation of this proud tradition. And
Whereas arresting journalists and those who help them document what is happening in our country during this pivotal moment is unconstitutional and antithetical to the values outlined by our founding fathers here in Philadelphia 250 years ago. Now, therefore be it. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and this body has an obligation to speak up when one of our young constituents finds themselves in the Trump administration crosshairs for exercising their constitutional rights. Now, therefore be it.
Resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that we hereby express support for Jerome Richardson and our First Amendment rights in the face of political persecution against protesters by the Trump administration. Please welcome Jerome Richardson to the podium. Woo!
The chair recognizes Jerome Richardson.
For those in the back who are shouting, my grandmother would say, "Lift up your heads, all ye gates." But furthermore, she'd also say, I give honor to God because he's the head of my life. And so I'm elated to be here in the presence of all of you. I'm elated to be here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and affectionately as a Temple University student. I came here about 4 years ago and was welcomed by the community in such a grand way. It's been such an honor to be able to see what community looks like on display. When I think of Philadelphia, it's so similar to Minnesota, and we say these words like, show me what community looks like, this is what community looks like, right? And so when I look at this audience of people and those who fill up the streets of Philadelphia and in the classrooms as well as at Temple University, I certainly see like the sense of community, of where this is where community shows up and this is where community looks like. And so I want to thank you all again for your enormous support. I want to thank Councilwoman Jamie and her staff who have been very, very, very diligent in making sure too that I'm well and that I'm okay. And at the end of the day, again, I want to uplift all those young people who are out there who may feel defeated or who have never had the opportunity to stand up against what injustices are or document and storytell the injustices that we face. Obviously, I'd like to lift up the names of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, who were murdered at the hands of ICE enforcement. I'd also like to lift up my family, who have been very supportive during this entire time. And you know, they say like strangers support you the most. So like shout out to the strangers, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all I don't know, you know, but I appreciate y'all. And so thank y'all again. If you didn't hear anything that I said today, it is that we must make sure to it that we show up to the midterms. As you heard at the State of the Union, if Donald Trump loses the midterms, the Donald Trump effect and era is over. And so we must show up to the midterms in a robust way. Whenever journalists are under attack, we are all under attack. So thank you all so much. Have a blessed day.
Council will be at ease. The next order of business is communications. The chair requests that the Sergeant at Arms deliver the messages from council. Will be at ease. In the meanwhile, while council that is at ease, I would like to take a moment of personal privilege to acknowledge Donna Bullock, CEO of Project Home. Where is Donna at? Fierce advocate for addressing our homeless community. She was out all last evening doing a point-in-time count to make sure we address all the issues regarding those who are homeless and make sure we have accurate data to address their issues, needs, and concerns. Thank you very much, Councilman Rue Landau, also for being on the ground and working on this issue. At this time, the next order of business is communications. The chair requests that the Sergeant at Arms deliver the messages from the mayor to the chief clerk. Will the chief clerk please read the messages from the mayor and any other communications in her possession?
To the President and members of the Council of the City of Philadelphia, I am pleased to advise you that on February 24th, 2026, I signed the following bills, which were passed by Council at its session on February 12th, 2026. Bill number 250988 and Bill number 251031. Council President, there are no further communications in my possession.
Thank you. The messages will be printed in the journal. The next order of business is introduction of bills and resolutions. The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President. I have one bill and one privilege resolution.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the bill and resolution?
An ordinance authorizing the City of Philadelphia to install, own, and maintain right-of-way encroachments on 7600, 7700, and 7800 blocks of Ogott's Avenue, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Chief Inspector Nicholas Smith for his distinguished service, community-centered leadership, and unwavering commitment to public safety in the City of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilman Jamie Gautier.
Good morning, Council President. Today I have one non-privileged resolution.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the resolution?
Just one moment.
Bless you. Council be at ease. Chair acknowledges the chief clerk. Please read the title of the resolution.
A non-privileged resolution also naming the 4700 block of Wyalusing Avenue as Philip Majid Way in recognition of 50 years of faith, service, leadership, and community excellence.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council. The chair recognizes my majority with Councilman Isaiah Thomas.
Thank you, Council President. I have two resolutions on your behalf today, Council President. For a moment of personal privilege, just want to say congratulations to Orton Reed for winning the Public League Championship.
Thank you very much. And who did Orton Reed beat?
It's not really relevant. You know, we should focus on the great work that Orton Reed has done, the coach, the sisters, the entire program. It's amazing.
He's
They've done
a good
phenomenal
politician.
job. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome, sir. Very well said. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the resolutions, please?
A privileged resolution congratulating the Auden Reed High School girls basketball team on winning the 2026 Public League Championship against Imhotep High School, securing their 4th straight PPL championship.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Philadelphia 250 and the Philadelphia Visitor Center Corporation and their Philadelphia community partners for their work on the Ring It On citywide Semiquincentennial initiative.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. President. One bill and one non-privileged resolution on your behalf after a 4-hour hearing dealing with first responders. Thank you for your quick action.
Thank you very much, sir. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the bill and resolution?
An ordinance regulating the direction of movement of traffic on Hermit Street between Manor Street and Manayunk Avenue.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution calling on the PA General Assembly to take swift and decisive action to pass Pennsylvania Senate Bill 110, also known as Bryan's Law, to amend the Emergency and Law Enforcement Personnel Death Benefits Act to extend line-of-duty death benefits to surviving spouses and children of first responders who die from job-related trauma, including PTSI-related suicide, ensuring equitable treatment for their families.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at the next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Thank you, Council President. I have 2 privileged resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Chief Clerk, please read the resolutions.
A privileged resolution recognizing February 28, 2026 as HIV is not a crime awareness day in the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring and recognizing the U.S. women's hockey team for winning the gold medal at the 2026 Winter Olympics and representing the United States with distinction, integrity, and excellence.
Can we invite them to really give them their due here, if you'd like to do that, really? Other folks don't get it, but this resolution will be placed on final passage calendar for today. The chair recognizes Councilman Ketty Lozada.
Thank you, Council President. Today I have 2 privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution recognizing and celebrating March 2026 as Women's History Month in the city of Philadelphia and championing the power of women who build connections and drive prosperity for all.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing and honoring the Smedley Bulldogs Blitz cheerleaders as the first Philadelphia public elementary school to compete at the UCA Nationals.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer 1 bill and 3 privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the bill and the privileged resolutions?
An ordinance amending Section 14-303 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Common Procedures and Requirements by further clarifying exceptions to lapse of permits issued without construction documents, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a privileged resolution welcoming the 58th Mid-Atlantic Black Law Students Association Regional Convention to the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for today.
A privileged resolution recognizing March as National Reading Month and March 2nd, Read Across America Day in the city of Philadelphia, and further honoring the critical work of community organizations working to expand literacy skills of youth and adults across the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing February 23rd to February 27th, 2026 as Public Schools Week and celebrating the essential role of public schools, educators, students, and families in strengthening the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Minority Leader Kendra Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. I have 1 privileged resolution to introduce today.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the privileged resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing and celebrating Dr. Carol Simmons, Nyoka Carr, Estelle Vaughn, Pella McPhee, Carolyn Brooker, Winnie Harris, and the Black women who devote their lives to nourishing their neighbors and communities across Philadelphia on the occasion of Black History Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity.
Thank you, Council President. I have no bills or resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Nicholas O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. President. No bills or resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Mike Driscoll.
Morning, Mr. President. No bills or resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilmember Brian O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no bills or resolutions.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer one bill on your behalf.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the bill?
An ordinance amending Chapter 12-923 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Smart Loading Zones, authorizing the Philadelphia Parking Authority to install smart loading zones in the area of Center City bounded by Spring Garden Street, Bainbridge Street, the Schuylkill River, and the Delaware River for the purpose of improving the appropriate use of loading zones and reducing traffic congestion, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. Chair recognizes Majority Deputy Whip, Councilman Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer two privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring the Imhotep Charter High School boys basketball team for winning its 6th consecutive public league championship and honoring its historic achievement in Philadelphia high school basketball.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring Pastor Clement M. Lupton III for his outstanding leadership, faithful service, and transformative impact upon the spiritual and civic life of the city of Philadelphia in recognition of Black History Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Council President. I offer three privileged resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution authorizing the Joint Committees on Public Health and Human Services and the Children and Youth to hold hearings to raise awareness regarding the role of gaming platforms and social platforms and their use in the grooming, recruitment, and exploitation of minors, including conduct that may lead to human trafficking.
Excellent resolution as a dad. This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing and honoring the Philadelphia Orchestra on the occasion of its 125th anniversary, celebrating its founding in 1900, and its enduring role in establishing Philadelphia as a global center of culture, creativity, and artistic excellence.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring Angelo Perryman and Perryman Building and Construction for 70 years of excellence, leadership, and lasting impact on the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Congratulations, Angel Perryman. Keep up the good work. As there are no reports from committees today, the next order of business is the consideration of the calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Majority Whip Isaiah Thomas for a motion concerning the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendars.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following bills and resolutions are being called up from the second reading and final passage calendar today. Bills number 241070-A, 260119, 260122, 260123, 260125, 260129, and 241056. The following bills on the calendar are being held. 250768, 250807, 250843, 250917, 250980, and 251025. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Before considering these bills and resolutions, we will consider public comments as follows. Your public comment must concern matters on the second reading and final passage calendars for possible action at today's council session. All speakers must sign up in order to testify. If you have not already signed up for today's session, please do so now by giving your name to Ms. Hassan at the table outside the rails to my left. Once you have signed up, you will be called in the order in which your name appears on the sign-up sheet. Under ideal circumstances, public commenters will each have 3 minutes to speak. However, this time limit may vary from session to session. Today, the time limit will be 2 minutes. In order to be fair to all those wishing to speak, I intend to hold faithfully to the 2-minute limit. When you begin, you will see a green light on the podium. When there are 30 seconds remaining to your time, the light will turn yellow, which is your reminder to conclude your remarks. Once 2 minutes have passed, the light will turn red, and the sergeant at arms will disconnect the microphone. At that point, please yield the podium to the next speaker if you have not already done so. I also reserve the right, pursuant to our rules of City Council, to limit repetitious comments on the same subject matter. I will now ask for the Chief Clerk to please call up our first speaker.
Brian Fleur, Estelle Vaughn, Lynn Landis, Janine Litsky, and Katrina Delancey. Please make your way to the podium.
My name? Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning. My name is Estelle Vaughn. I'm from the Tioga Hope Park and Garden. I'm here to say good morning. Thank you. Thank you, God, for He is omnipotent and can do all things well. He sends the rain and the sun to make the flowers bloom and the vegetables bountiful in our garden. He sends angels to help us. The PHS Horticultural Society blesses us with unbelievable generosity, encouragement, and resources. They have done so much. They have given us flowers, seeds, mulch, built benches. They have sponsored activities in our communities, workshops, jazz concerts, and unity days. They have provided flowers and pots and soils that the neighbors may participate in porch challenges to beautify their block. PHS brings artists to beautify our garden and donors by the busloads. Thank you to our visitors and donors, and they are of all ages and colors, both sexes, and they are from all over the city. Thank you, Kendra Brooks and the City Council for this honor. Please accept this invitation. It is an open invitation to visit our garden during the spring and summer when everything is blooming. We are all human. One thing that we all have in common is stress. I have been a registered nurse at Temple University Hospital for 39 years. I can attest both personally and professionally to our stress and its effects. I had a brain bleed and underwent brain surgery. It took me 1 year to heal. You are looking at a miracle. God spared my life. Stress will manifest in your body and can kill you. Stress may cause a headache, high blood pressure, heart disease, or an asthma attack. Pain and grief may cause stress. Overindulgence of self-medication for stress and pain, i.e. smoking, alcoholism, obesity, and drug use will cause your organs to fail. Our vital organs are our hearts, liver, kidneys, lungs, and brain. People with whom we come in contact with, live with, or near, work with, or for, ride public transportation with, or drive near may cause stress. Fear of one another, being hurt, or going outside can cause stress, inactivity, and pain. God is, we're done? Thank you all. That's it, and I'm gonna give this to the clerk. Could you pass that to the unit clerk? That is an open invitation. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Landis of healthalertphilly.org. I strongly oppose the legalization of the addictive drug marijuana. As a nation, we already have a serious health and safety problem with marijuana use, including the public's involuntary exposure to its secondhand smoke. Please read the book, Tell Your Children, for its in-depth account of marijuana's devastating impact on human health, the brain, violence, and society at large. On another matter, and as founder of Philly's Republican Network, We support the SAVE Act, which requires voter ID and proof of citizenship in order to vote in federal elections. The irony is that we all have to show our ID every time we come into City Hall because City Council wants a secure building. Shouldn't the security of our elections merit even more concern? Voter ID enjoys overwhelming support. Yet in 14 Democratic states and the District of Columbia, an ID is not required to vote. Furthermore, some Democratic localities are allowing non-citizens to vote in their elections. What does that say about the Democratic Party's loyalty to American citizens? That question was answered at the State of the Union address when President Trump asked legislators present to stand up and show their support for the following statement. Quote, "The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens," unquote. All the Republicans stood up, but only a handful of Democrats. And that showed the American public what's truly at stake here. It's not just another difference of political opinion. Under the Biden administration, the Democrats engineered a foreign invasion of our country and clearly want illegal immigrants to vote in our elections as well. This de facto political insurrection is threatening to destroy our nation, something not seen since the Civil War. Support the SAVE Act. Thank you.
Good morning, Janine Lasitsky, President and CEO for Mental Health Partnerships. I'm here today because a federal funding decision that may feel very distant in Washington has very real consequences for Philadelphia. Last fall, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development announced significant changes to the Continuum of Care Notice of Funding Opportunities, the primary federal funding stream that supports our homelessness response system. The recent NOFO shifts funding priorities away from permanent supported housing and towards transitional housing, while prohibiting the displaced residents from qualifying for the new or even existing transitional housing units. Permanent supported housing is the most rigorously studied and consistently effective intervention for people experiencing chronic homelessness. I have spent my career leading community-based behavioral health and housing organizations implementing evidence-informed models and working directly with individuals who have experienced homelessness for years and sometimes decades. I am a witness. I have seen people move from crisis to recovery, not because they were compelled into service, but because they had stable housing and trusted support. In Pennsylvania, approximately 2/3, that's 66%, of our permanent supported housing beds are funded through the federal Continuum of Care. In Philadelphia alone, early projections suggested more than 1,200 units could be at risk under this proposed change. And while a federal court has temporarily blocked the rule, but uncertainty remains. Providers are waiting on funding, planning is stalled, and some beds have already been lost. And systems like ours cannot be turned off and on without consequences. Thank you.
Will Katrina?
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. If your name is called, please come up. Katrina? Angie? You have 2 minutes. State your name for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Angie Nelson, and I'm the Executive Director at Pathways to Housing Pennsylvania. At Pathways to Housing, we empower unhoused people with disabilities to reclaim their lives through providing stable housing, supportive services, and a caring community. We know that housing with supports works to end episodes of homelessness and help our community members achieve stability. Pathways to Housing serves people with disabilities experiencing chronic homelessness by pairing independent apartments with comprehensive wraparound services. The people we serve are among Philadelphia's most vulnerable. And today, our 8 clinical teams support more than 500 participants in housing citywide. This resolution, brought by Councilmember Landau, matters because only a fraction of those who need permanent supportive housing currently receive it, and recent federal decisions jeopardize even that. In late 2025, HUD disrupted more than 2 decades of data-driven precedent by cutting funding streams that we rely on. As a result, Pathways to Housing was forced to end leases for 26 apartments and displace participants due to a non-renewed grant. If HUD's proposed cuts move forward, we are at risk of dropping from serving 500 people in this supportive housing to only 125 people in this supportive housing, potentially forcing 375 high-need Philadelphians onto the streets, into our emergency rooms, into shelters, prisons, or worse. I urge you to support this resolution so we can send a unified message that these cuts cause real harm and further reductions would be catastrophic. For the sake of our participants, for our employees, for our landlords and community members, this funding must not only be protected, it must be expanded. Thank you.
State your name for the record, okay?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Evelyn Torres, and I'm the Executive Director of Action Wellness. For 40 years, our incredible staff and volunteers have worked alongside people living with HIV, providing services to support their wellness and health and advocating for policies rooted in science and compassion. I am here today to support designating February 28, 2026 as HIV is not a crime awareness day, sponsored by Rolando. For decades, HIV has carried not only a medical diagnosis, but also a heavy burden of stigma, fear, and misunderstanding. In the early years of the epidemic, limited knowledge led to panic-stricken policies. Some of those policies remain in our laws today. Laws that criminalize people with HIV based on outdated science rather than current medical evidence. Today, we know the facts. With modern treatment, people living with HIV can achieve an undetected viral load, meaning that virus cannot be transmitted. Science has given us clarity, medicine has given us tools, yet stigma still lingers in our legal system and in our communities. HIV is not a crime awareness day, which serves 3 critical purposes. First, it would educate. Many people still do not know that HIV is a manageable chronic condition. Education replaces fear with understanding, especially for those communities historically underrepresented who are disproportionately impacted by HIV. Second, it would humanize people with HIV. Criminalization reinforces the harmful idea that people living with HIV are dangerous. They are not. The 18,000 people living with HIV in Philadelphia are parents, teachers, veterans, students, leaders, our friends and family. A day of awareness reminds us that HIV is a public health issue, not a moral failing. Third, it would inspire action. Currently, there is a bill, HB 632, sponsored by Representative Bill Waxman. This bill aims to modernize Pennsylvania's criminal code by removing the final remaining reference to HIV. Recognizing 228 as HIV is not a crime awareness day sends the message that Philadelphia stands with Representative Waxman and many others in their critical work to reform our outdated and harmful law. Thank you.
There you go. 2 minutes. State your name for the record.
Good morning, everybody. My name is John Alante McCauley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to offer you something different because you've been voting Democrat for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. In regards to the SAVE Act, this is not a partisan situation. 84% of Americans approve of the SAVE Act. 76% of Black Americans approve of the SAVE Act. For the people who watched a great State of the Union speech the other night by President Trump, 64% of them believe that his policies will move us in the correct, exactly. We don't want any more no excuse mail-in ballots. We know that mail-in ballots is a vector for fraud. We know that mail-in ballots is how you cheat to win your elections. We don't want any more rigged machines. Smartmatic, Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. Do your research. It's amazing how I needed a photo ID to come into City Hall today. It's amazing how all in the black neighborhoods, the Democrats allow all of these liquor stores to remain. You had to have photo ID to go buy alcohol. It's amazing. For the years and the generations, y'all want families to raise kids and families on Section 8 housing, welfare, cash assistance. You need photo ID to get all of these things. So this is all things the Democrats support. We want Governor Josh Shapiro to clean up the voter rolls. It's okay. America first. America first.
Call Carolyn again and then close it.
Thank you. Carolyn Booker and Zahir Muhammad Gray. Carolyn Booker, then Zahir Muhammad Gray.
He's going to have to start now. You can say them too.
Good morning. State your name for the record. You may
Yes.
begin with your testimony.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Carolyn Booker, and I'm speaking on behalf of Tioga Hope Park and Garden. You heard from Estelle Vaughn, our founder and visionary earlier, speaking about our garden, and also have another garden member here, our history keeper, Pila McPhee, and a few other friends and whatnot. Just want to say we are very humbled with this recognition of being Black women who nourish our communities. It's endearing to be part of a select group, including Dr. Carol Simmons, Neoka Carr, Winnie Harris, who I had the pleasure of meeting at a PHS workshop years ago. Seriously, may she be resting in peace. She did some great work. Our group, Tioga Hope Park and Garden, as I said, includes Estelle Vaughn, our founder and visionary, Pila McPhee, history keeper. We have another member who can't be here today, Sister Mary Catherine. She always says this saying, she loves to see God weave people together as golden threads to make his beautiful tapestry. And I always think that's such a beautiful saying. We have a love of the land in our neighborhood and of our neighborhood, and we have commitment over the decades. There's been dedication through many people who have been determined to keep our mission going. We have collaboration with many groups, Tioga United, PHS, Philadelphia Master Gardeners, Tree Philly, and Crystal Ray High School. We are seeking to leave a legacy of beauty, knowledge, appreciation of nature's nourishing power, physically and for our souls. And lastly, please vote to place the Tioga Hope Park and Garden into the Land Trust. Please protect and keep this vital space within our community. Help this soil continue to blossom, heal, and nurture our community in Philadelphia. Thank you.
Before the next witness comes to testify, I just want to take a moment of personal privilege to say thank you to Councilmember Bass. As the president of the Coaches Association and the Public League, I want to say congratulations to Imhotep's boys basketball team. I see, yeah, absolutely. I want to say congratulations to the head coach who couldn't be here, my good friend Andre Noble. This is his 14th Public League championship, which has to be some type of record. And I also just want to say thank you to all of the unsung heroes at Imhotep who make this stuff work, including one of my good friends, Stan Williams, who's here, who, if you don't know, Stan does a lot of work and a lot of giving back in the 8th and 9th councilmatic districts of the city of Philadelphia. So to the entire Imhotep team, thank you all for being here. Mr. Captain, please state your name for the record, and you may begin with your testimony.
Say it one more time.
State your name for the record, and you may begin with your testimony.
My name is Zaire Muhammad Gray. I I just wanted to say I appreciate the council and everybody for recognizing us tonight and bringing us in. We feel appreciated for what we're doing. I just want to say I thank you, and I appreciate you for everything y'all did for us today.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for representing the city of Philadelphia. And good luck in states this year. Thank you all. We appreciate you.
Will Julia Kalwanander, Donna Bullock, Jay Kaufman, Mikhail Proctor, Don Hanna, and Dominique walk to the podium.
Good morning, Councilman Young and members of City Council. My name is Julia Cadwallander. I'm the Managing Director of Read by Fourth, Philadelphia's citywide early literacy movement. I stand here today as one person, but I am representing over 100 organizations and 1,000+ reading captains, neighbors, parents, and community members who champion literacy every day across our city. We're grateful to Councilman Young for this resolution because National Reading Month does two powerful things at once. First, it is a celebration, a reminder to slow down, to curl up with our little ones and fall in love with stories, to remember that reading is not a chore, it is a joy, it is a gift. This month is also a spotlight, a moment to speak a hard truth out loud. Too many children in our city are not yet reading at grade level, not because they can't learn, but because we haven't yet given them everything they need to succeed. The literacy crisis is real, it's urgent, and it impacts all of us. But here's what I know. The literacy crisis is a challenge we have power to solve. We are training more educators in the science of reading and embracing evidence-based curricula. We are equipping families to be their children's first and most powerful teachers, and we are raising our voices together to make sure that literacy stays at the top of Philadelphia's agenda. Reading is not just an academic skill, it is a civil right, and the key to the life our children deserve. This month, we join you in asking every Philadelphian to find joy in reading and to speak up for literacy in our schools and communities. Protecting our children's right to read is not just a policy priority, it's a promise. And today, you're helping Philadelphia keep it. Thank you.
Good morning, members of council, Council President Johnson. I'm Donna Bullock, President and CEO of Project Home. I'm here to speak on Councilmember Landau's resolution 26012200, which you've heard already about HUD's proposal to disinvest and invest in evidence-based solutions to address homelessness. Project Home manages over 1,000 units of housing, and more than 300 of those permanent supportive housing units stand to be at risk should HUD move forward. For many of our residents, this housing offers more than a key. It offers them community, stability, and a place for healing and recovery. Like many housing providers, we've been forced to pivot, prepare, and plan for potential funding cuts and policy shifts at the federal level. These results could be devastating for our organization and the individuals we serve. HUD subsidies can also be critical to the financing, production, and long-term sustainability of our low-income housing tax credit developments. These developments could be at risk from being not just in existence, but can hinder us from developing any new housing. This shift and threat of losing housing subsidies altogether put our most vulnerable residents at risk of returning to homelessness. And this impacts all of us, every single resident, every single business, our friends, and our neighbors. But what we know is that homelessness is a local solution, and at its core, it is a challenge and a focus for all of us to address. Mayor Parker shares these sentiments, and she shared this in her recent State of the City address, and last night when we had the city's point in time count, and she announced her commitment to 1,000 new beds. But we need more than 1,000 new beds. We need to continue to invest in permanent supportive housing. Because what we know at Project Home is that none of us are home until all of us are home. Thank you, City Council.
Thank you, and thank you for your service. We appreciate all you do. Thank you, former rep.
Good morning. I'm Jay Kostman, the Chief Medical Officer of Philadelphia Fight Community Health Centers, one of Pennsylvania's largest comprehensive health service organizations, providing primary care, consumer education, research, and advocacy for people living with HIV and those at high risk. I am here to support Councilmember Landau's proposal to make February 28th HIV is not a crime awareness day. I began providing care to people living with HIV infection in Philadelphia in the late 1980s. I've worked with large hospital systems and community health centers. Some of my patients have been living with HIV for 35 years or more. I participate in clinical research as well. When I started doing this work, HIV was a universally fatal disease due to ineffective treatment. Because of the vulnerable populations in which HIV first appeared in the United States, there was a lack of empathy for people living with HIV disease, leading to stigmatization. That stigma, which was associated with HIV infection, fueled the epidemic, particularly because it was focused on already marginalized populations. HIV stigma discourages people from getting tested and subsequently treated for their infection. If people know they can face legal consequences for testing positive, they may avoid getting tested. In addition, fear of prosecution may prevent individuals from seeking care or disclosing their status to partners, contrary to what the laws are intended to encourage. We now know that people can take effective treatment against HIV and can limit their blood to having undetectable levels of the virus. There's broad data to support this that will prevent transmission. We should not subject people to laws that were enacted out of fear and reinforce stigma. Laws that treat HIV as a crime and not a manageable health condition ignore science, violate human rights, increase stigma, and undermine public health goals. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kimmel Proctor, CEO of Beyond Literacy, Philadelphia's largest adult and family literacy nonprofit. I'm here today to thank Councilman Young for recognizing March as National Reading Month and March 2nd as Read Across America Day. Your resolutions are uplifting literacy as a priority for our city. In this time of federal disinvestment in education, your recognition matters. It tells Philly that City Council understands reading is foundational and what reading unlocks is life-changing. We're called Beyond Literacy because we know this goes beyond learning to read. Literacy is about civic participation, being able to read a ballot and fully take part in our 250-year-old democracy. It's about health outcomes, understanding prescriptions and care instructions. It's about opportunity and economic mobility, addressing access to gatekeeping credentials and good living wage jobs. And its power is intergenerational. Data consistently shows that the strongest predictor of a child's academic success, more than neighborhood and income level, is the reading level of that child's parent or primary caregiver. Beyond Literacy serves 2,000 adult learners every year with cost-free learning to earning classes across Philadelphia. Yet our wait list for GED and language services is hundreds deep. As a federally funded agency, this year has brought historic challenges for our capacity to meet this growing demand for free adult reading and upskilling programs. So today's City Council recognition isn't just symbolic. It's a statement that literacy is an opportunity driver worth investing in. Thank you, City Council, especially Councilman Young, for standing with lifelong learners of all ages and stages. When we invest in literacy, we go beyond improved reading scores. We strengthen families, the workforce, and opportunity for all. It's now my honor to introduce the person who leads this work, our Chief Program and Impact Officer, Dawn Hanna.
Thank you. You have 2 minutes. State your name for the record, please.
My name is Dawn Hanna, Chief Program and Impact Officer at Beyond Literacy. Thank you, Kimmel, and thank you, council members, for recognizing National Reading Month. You just heard Kimmel speak to the scale of our work. As Chief Program and Impact Officer, I'd like to speak to just that, the impact. When I look at the 2,000 adults that we serve every year, I don't see students. I see parents studying after long shifts at work. I see immigrants learning English so that they can better support their families. I see returning citizens rebuilding their futures. I see workers upskilling into new industries. And when an adult walks into our classrooms, I know that they are not starting from scratch. Having grown up in under-resourced Philadelphia neighborhoods, and knowing how close I came to underfunded schools myself, I understand that many of our students are not lacking ability. They are recovering from systems that could not serve them well, including school systems that were recently ruled unconstitutional for their long history of inequitable funding. So literacy for me is not remediation, it is restoration. It restores access, confidence, and economic mobility, and perhaps most importantly, it restores what children see at home. Because when a parent studies for a high school equivalency diploma at the same table where their child does homework, something shifts. And when the parent earns industry credentials and secures a family-sustaining wage, that shift becomes generational. And that is why our vision at Beyond Literacy is clear. Adults empowered, beyond literacy, children, youth, and families inspired, our communities thriving, and our city transformed. That's the power of adult literacy. It doesn't change just one life, it recalibrates a household. And when enough household shifts, our city does too. That brings me to Dominique Slaughter, a Philadelphia resident who graduated from our Energy Pre-Apprenticeship program.
Thank you. Dominique?
Will Nicholas Smith, Hannah Abrams, Anna Para, Janika Bright, and Faith Bedworth make your way to the podium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dominique. I am a recent grad from Beyond Literacy who graduated at the top of my class. First, I would like to thank Kimmel, Dawn, and Kyle for all the amazing work they have done with Beyond Literacy. They have made an impact on so many adults when it comes to literacy, which is not recognized enough. Also open many opportunities in the working field. It's because of them I am able to connect with so many opportunities and people. It's because of them and the certifications I received that I'm in the process of becoming an electrician for the U.S. Navy. I hope you all do your best to support them. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations, and thank you for your testimony. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Faith, and I am supporting the 260122, the bill about supportive housing. That helps supportive housing. I am a current participant of mental health partnerships, and I have supported housing through the Bridge voucher. I have a mental health diagnosis, many of them, and also disability as well. I don't know what I would do without supportive housing. I would probably still be homeless or dead due to my mental health diagnosis and my POTS diagnosis. I need to move for my physical health and wish that there was more affordable housing, and because of my POTS and mental health, I can't work, so I can't afford to even pay a phone bill half of the time, let alone even pay for outrageous monthly rent and utilities. These supportive housings, it's truly a lifesaver to get people off the streets, and stable people can't get well mentally or physically without a stable place and to stay safe, and shelters aren't always ideal for someone with multiple diagnoses physically and mentally. One shelter I was at in West Philly was aware I had seizures and still put me on a top bunk, and I fell off, and they yelled at me when I called 911. I got yelled at for being raped as well because I was late for the curfew. I was in the ER and had proof. Please support the housing so we don't lose more people. Thank you for supporting the funding housing. Some of us, like my uncle Jeremy, did not make it out alive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Thank you for being vulnerable.
I am Dr. Carol Simmons, Executive Director, thank you, of the Black Farmers Co-op. I'm truly humbled and honored to be acknowledged through a resolution today by Councilwoman Kendra Brooks. And with all the other honorees, and for my commitment to bring a sustainable and higher standard of living to our community. The Black Farmers Co-op founders are Pastor Darian Thomas, Dr. Harville, Nelville Moore, Charlene Moore, who is our treasurer, myself, Dr. Carol Simmons, Dr. Monique Holland, and Stephanie Dreams. BFC mission for Green Spaces is to adopt a block, grow a lot. Adopt a block, grow a lot. BFC would like to take this opportunity to thank the City of Philadelphia Council President Kenyatta Johnson, our very special, again, Councilwoman at Large Kendra Brooks, and all of our partners. We have PHS here, Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, the Henge Collective, for their unconditional support that created the foundation for us to serve the citizens of Philadelphia organically and locally grown produce in conjunction with all natural products. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Black Farmers.
I would recall it.
Good morning. My name is Hannah Abrams. I'm the manager of girls programs at Snyder Youth Hockey and Education. I'm joined by women from local women's league teams, the Philadelphia Freeze, the Gremlins, USA Ball Hockey, and Philly Ball Hockey, who are all here representing women's hockey at a much lower level than the Olympics. And we're supporting women and girls in hockey because it's been shown, obviously, many times that girls who participate in sports are more successful as adults. And we're setting a precedent right now as for future generations in support of the honor of the women's Olympic hockey team. Like I said, I am the manager of girls programs at Snyder Youth Hockey and Education, which is a local nonprofit that uses hockey as the catalyst to support underserved youth and provide them with resources that they would otherwise not have had access to. They not only participate in hockey from learn to skate all the way through travel, but they also receive academic support, life skills, scholarships to college and private high schools. And then we do career support after that. And most importantly, our program is entirely free, including equipment and the full scholarships and everything. There's no cost to families. With that, I also did some research, and we are the only organization like that that exists in the entire world. So we're the most successful, which says a lot. It says a lot for women's hockey and girls in sports also. And if you don't know anything about ball hockey, I highly recommend you check that out also, because there are far fewer barriers, especially financially, to joining that. To get started, you really just need a pair of sneakers. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much to Councilwoman Landau.
Anna Para, Janika Bright, Kevin Upshur, Catherine Lupton, Leon Hawes, and Major Van Pelt, please make your way to the podium.
Good afternoon. My name is Anna Para, but everybody calls me Turtle. I'm a participant in a housing program here in Philadelphia. In 2021, I lost my foot due to hyperthermia as a direct result of homelessness. Today, I stand in front of you as a below-the-knee amputee wearing my prosthetic, and I will be celebrating my 2 years clean on March 27th. Permanent supportive housing changed that for me. Because I have a stable apartment, I'm able to attend amputation groups, volunteer in the Philadelphia community, and work on publishing my manuscript. Stable housing gave me the ability to focus on self-care, recovery, spiritual growth. I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry, guys. All right. Advocacy. I'm standing here as the face of the permanent supportive housing, what makes possible. These programs work, they save lives. Housing, oh my God, it has changed my life. But they only continue if funding is protected. I'm asking you, please protect funding, protect my future, and protect the other futures of everybody else who's still trying to fight to rebuild theirs. Thank you for everything, and have a good day.
Absolutely. My name is Janika Bright, and I proudly serve as the Executive Director of Read to Succeed Philadelphia. I stand in strong support of Councilmember Jeffrey Young Jr.'s resolution to recognize March as National Reading Month in Philadelphia and March 2nd as Read Across America Day in our city. Literacy is not simply about books. It's about belonging. It's about equity. It is about whether a child sees possibility when they open a page. And in Philadelphia, literacy must be shared responsibility. At Read to Succeed Philadelphia, we work across neighborhoods, providing high-impact tutoring, literacy enrichment labs, and family-centered programming designed to close reading gaps early. We believe literacy is liberation. It strengthens families around dinner tables. It builds confidence in classrooms. It fuels workforce development, and it unites communities across zip codes. Philadelphia holds a powerful educational distinction. We are the birthplace of kindergarten in America. As we celebrate a year of firsts in our city, declaring March as National Reading Month honors that legacy and recommits us to the foundational skill that makes all learning possible. We are grateful to work alongside extraordinary literacy champions who help make this vision real. State Senator Vincent Hughes, whose leadership continues to elevate literacy as a legislative priority. Shirley Ralph Hughes, who uses her platform to advocate for children in education. Treehouse Books, Read by Fourth, and others. The declaration is more than symbolic. It signals that Philadelphia stands united. Families, educators, community leaders, and elected officials in a building where every child can read on grade level and beyond. Thank you for your leadership and your commitment to Philadelphia's children and families.
Thank you.
Good morning, Leon Halls, beloved St. John.
Catherine Lupton, beloved St. John Evangelistic Church.
Good morning, City Council members and constituents. And I want to thank Councilwoman Cindy Bass for this resolution honoring our pastor, Clement Lupton. Today, we celebrate more than a resolution. We celebrate a life poured out in service. I heard it said before that the true depth and success of a man should not be measured by the size of his car or his bank account. It can be measured by the countenance of his wife's face. Pastor Clement Lupton of beloved St. John has simply stood in the gap for 30 years, not behind a pulpit. He's walked hospital corridors, prayed in living rooms, counseled people through crisis, rejoiced at weddings, and wept at funerals. Our ministry has never been confined to Sunday morning. It can be found on Monday afternoon, late night phone calls, and those, "Pastor, do you have a minute?" conversations that turn into an hour. He is a man of honor, a man of consistency, a man whose private life matches his public. Pastors always said it's a true tragedy to be a public success and a private failure. And in today's world, that alone is enough for a standing ovation. For 3 decades, he has faithfully preached the word of God with clarity, conviction, and compassion. He has a way of delivering a sermon that encourages you, corrects you, and sends you home thinking, man, I got to make better life decisions. Beyond the preaching and beyond the title, he is a devoted husband, happily married, and faithfully committed. That, in itself, is a testimony after 30 years of ministry. I think we got 4 minutes because it's 2 of us. We combined our time. I see the red light there. He is a spiritual father to many, steady, present, and invested in the next generation. In a time when leadership can be so loud and shallow, Pastor has been steady and deep. This resolution recognizes his work in the community, but those who know him understand that the greatest impact cannot be fully captured on paper. It is written in the lives he's helped, the families he's strengthened, and the faith he's helped build. Pastor Clement Lupton and First Lady Brenda Lupton, thank you for 30 years of sacrifice, faithfulness, and love for God's people. We honor you, we celebrate you, and we thank God for you. Today, the city of Philadelphia recognizes your work, but eternity will reveal the true measure of its impact. Thank you.
I just want to thank City Council, Councilwoman Cindy Bass.
I'm sorry, please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry, Catherine Lupton. I want to thank Councilwoman Cindy Bass for honoring our pastor, who's also my kid brother. But it's a blessing to be here. This is a wonderful, wonderful honor. I wish other members of the church could have been here, but I want to recognize those who are here. If they would just stand. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's all I have.
Kevin Upshur, Major Van Pelt, Victor Rodriguez, and Wick Savage, please make your way to the podium.
Good morning, good afternoon, Council, Council President. I am here to, my name is Wick Savage. I'm here to support Councilman Young's resolution for March being Literacy Month. It is so important that we eradicate this matter. This is a serious matter in the city of Philadelphia and throughout the country. We all watch the early news and late news. 12 young men were just arrested and being accused of murder. I will guarantee you they had a problem with reading because they chose to pick up a gun versus a book. We collectively, along with Councilman Young, can eradicate this matter in Philadelphia. I am dedicating the rest of my adult life to attempt to share with the parents of young people how important it is for early reading. It must start at the home. I also am with a philanthropist out of Hawaii, are paying young parents to read to their kids at least twice a day or twice a night. It only takes 5 minutes, and you will see the improvement in the involvement of young people with their civic responsibility and their development of being good stewards and good young people. Thank you for this moment.
Will Roscoe Scott, Jalea Meeks, Mecca Vance, Stacy Truskin, and David Alexander Jenkins please walk to the podium?
How you doing? My name is Victor Rodriguez, and I'm a participant with Supportive Housing. I'm proud to acknowledge that this program has offered me housing assistance, and through their help, I have been able to obtain full-time employment and budgeting my money. If it wasn't for Supportive Housing and its partnership, I would be on the streets or dead. Please support housing to continue here in Philly, as many others like myself will be affected. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Good afternoon. My name is Roscoe Scott, and I'm a board member of Philly Black Pride. And I'm also a person living with HIV for 11 years. I'm here today in support of HIV is Not a Crime Awareness Day. When I first was diagnosed, I thought my life was over, not because of the virus itself, but because of the stigma, the silence, and the fear society attaches to it. Over time, I learned the truth. HIV is a manageable condition. With treatment, I live a healthy life, a thriving life. I take my medication, I go to my appointment, and I'm undetectable, which means I cannot transmit HIV to my partners. U equals U is real. What is not manageable is stigma written into the law. HIV criminalization laws were created in a time of fear, not science. They punish people for living with a health condition. They disproportionately impacted Black communities, queer communities, and many people who are already marginalized. They discourage testing, they fuel shame, and they do nothing to prevent HIV. I am not a crime. My status is not a weapon. My existence is not something to be policed. If we truly care about ending HIV, we must center science, compassion, community, and public health, not punishment. We need policies that support access to care, education, prevention, and dignity. Today, I stand here not just as someone living with HIV, but someone who's living a fully life happy, someone worth love, protection, and justice. HIV is not a crime. Stigma is. Thank you. Sir, thank you for your testimony, and thank you for sharing your story with us, sir. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jayla Simone Meeks. Good afternoon now, everyone, and I am a second-year law student. Okay, thank you. I'm a second-year law student. My name is Jayla Simone Meeks. I'm very honored to be here. I serve as the Director of Programming for the Mid-Atlantic Black Law Student Association, and as a proud Detroit native, I can say I love the energy so far in Philly. We can snap to that. Before anything else, I want to make sure I extend our sincere gratitude to Councilman Jeffrey Young Jr. for sponsoring not only us being here, but also our resolution and making this real. Further, also Ray Johnson, thank you for your coordination, for making sure that this is possible. We do not take the fact that we're in this room lightly. By way of background, MABALSA is what the Mid-Atlantic is known as, and we're the regional affiliate of the National Black Law Student Association, which is the largest law student-run nonprofit in the country. Our region, specifically, spans Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and the District of Columbia. And this week, 150 Black law students are gathered here in Philadelphia, just down the road, for our 58th annual regional convention. And as we all know, this month is special. It's Black History Month. And we are also in Philadelphia during the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which we believe is where liberty was declared, but it has not yet fully been delivered. So on behalf of our board and all the law students that we represent, thank you for the work that each and every one of you are doing in this city and carrying the legacy of a city that named liberty and also has the responsibility to expand it. And with that, I will now turn to our chair, Mecca Vance.
Good afternoon, and thank you again to Councilman Young and to the members of this council for this recognition. I am Mecca Vance, another Detroit native, a Howard University graduate, and a 3L at William & Mary, and I serve as the CEO and chair of the Mid-Atlantic Black Law Student Association. I have worked and I have led my team, a team of 21 driven and dedicated law students, and we have coordinated a convention that does more than celebrate. Our programming includes our pre-law symposium, our regional job fair, advocacy competitions, and our awards gala, and intergenerational networking spaces connecting students with practicing attorneys and judges. Because the law is power, it determines who builds wealth and who loses it, who protects and who is prosecuted, who has access to opportunity and who is locked out. And yet, Black attorneys make up only 5% of lawyers nationwide. That gap shapes who stands before the bench, who drafts legislation, and whose lives experience informs justice. So we are building this week is more than a conference. We are building community in a profession that often isolates us. We are building pipelines where there were once barriers. We are building collective strength so that when we walk into courtrooms, firms, nonprofits, and council chambers like this one, we do so ready. We stand here not in opposition to institutions, but in belief that institutions grow stronger when they are inclusive, reflective, and courageous. Thank you for recognizing our students. Thank you for welcoming us into this historic chamber. And thank you for continuing the work of shaping a city where liberty is not just declared, but delivered. We are honored to be here.
Good morning, or afternoon. My name is Dr. Stacy Truskin. I am an infectious disease physician and the Chief Medical Officer of Mazzoni Center. And I'm here to support the resolution designating February 28th HIV is Not a Crime Awareness Day. More than 4 decades into the HIV epidemic, we have extraordinary medical advances. HIV is now a highly treatable, manageable chronic condition. Across the country, outdated laws still criminalize people living with HIV. I did, yes. Sure, thank you. Across the country, outdated laws still criminalize people living with HIV, often regardless of actual risk, intent, or transmission. HIV is not a crime, and a virus is not a moral failing. And people living with HIV deserve care, not prosecution. Here in Philadelphia, we have made important progress, but people living with HIV are still deeply impacted by broader national policies. Uncertainty around Medicaid, Ryan White programs, and public health infrastructure threatens access to life-saving treatment and prevention. For many of our patients, stable access to care depends on these programs. Interruptions in coverage are not abstract policy debates. They translate directly into missed medication, worsened health outcomes, and increased community transmission. We also know that housing instability, racism, homophobia, transphobia, poverty, and criminalization disproportionately impact people living with HIV, and at Mazzoni Center, we see this every day. We provide comprehensive HIV prevention and treatment services, but beyond the clinical care, we work to create an affirming, stigma-free environment, especially for LGBTQ individuals. The fight against HIV has never been about a virus. It's been about equity, justice, and human dignity. Thank you for your leadership, Councilwoman Landau, and for City Council for recognizing HIV is not a crime.
Council will be at ease. Council will be at ease. Can we have the six-time champion team from Imhotep High School. Please join me on the floor for a second. Member Bass. Can we give these young men a round of applause, please? They're not on the corners, they're not outside hustling, they're not carrying guns. They're doing the right things for the right reasons.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander, for your patience. Council will resume.
Just go ahead.
David Alexander, Angela Crumdy, Judith Robinson, Umbana Hagans, Anna Ordorn, and Corrine Green, please walk to the podium.
Mr. President, members and guests, David Alexander Jenkins, and I come before you today with others draped in the cloth of my forefathers, a cloth that represents lineage, responsibility, wisdom, and stewardship, a visible reminder to the authority that must be served to the people, a cloth woven in unity, cooperation, prosperity through collective effort, and reverence for the land that sustains us. The Black Farmers Co-op stands in a tradition of agricultural excellence and predates this nation. An agricultural excellence which, by force in the past, fed our forefathers here, but by choice today feeds the future we design. Before we were the supply chains and food deserts, there were African systems of cooperative farming, land stewardship, and community-centered economics. That transatlantic knowledge defies erasure, surviving today in the work of Black growers right here in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. In just 4 years, the Black Farmers Co-op has strengthened local food systems from the ground up. It has supported neighborhood growers and entrepreneurs, partnering with schools and organizations to advance sustainability and economic empowerment in communities that have too often been excluded from both. So today, as you look around at those of us who wear the kente, focus on the strands of silk bathed in the seeds of our today and the prosperity of our tomorrow. Focus on the strands spun from the gold of a rich people whose history survived 250 years of an American story. Focus on the silk spun in green, symbolizing growth, renewal, harvest, and vegetation. Those woven into the story of a promise of liberty no man in America could know, and without whom no Semiquincentennial could occur. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Angela Crumdy, and I serve as the Director of Programs and Research for Barbershop Books. Greetings to Council President, Councilman Young, and members of City Council. I'm here to testify in support of the resolution recognizing March as National Reading Month and March 2nd as Read Across America Day. Barbershop Books is a national organization dedicated to inspiring Black boys and other vulnerable children to read for fun by creating literacy-rich environments for Black boys and other vulnerable youth in Philadelphia and across the country. We know that 82% of Black boys in the 4th grade are reading below grade level. However, Barbershop Books is a testament to the power of community-led literacy efforts, much like the measures put forth by Councilman Young today. Founded in 2013 by a Black male kindergarten teacher, Alvin Irby, Barbershop Books transforms neighborhood barbershops into joyful, male-centered literacy hubs that strengthen children's reading identity, motivation, and confidence. Today, we have a network of over 200 participating barbershops across the country. In Philadelphia, our second flagship city, we have 30 affiliated barbershops, all of which are stocked on an annual basis with children's books that were recommended to us by Black boys. All of our barbers receive an early literacy training that equips them with the skills to combat reading trauma and to serve as male reading role models. We estimate that 30 shops alone reach 4,320 boys per month, and that if only 30% of those boys read for 10 minutes per visit, that equates to over 155,000 minutes of out-of-school time reading per year. Our efforts also extend beyond the barbershop to book lists and free haircut giveaways. So, alongside barbers, librarians, teachers, and schools, our members of the Read by Fourth Coalition, Barbershop Books works hard to foster a positive reading culture in the city. Thank you again to Councilman Young and Council for prioritizing literacy.
Excuse me, Ms. Judith, Queen Judith Robinson, before you begin your presentation, the chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to be recorded aye on all bills of resolution that are going to be read into the record, as I do have to leave for community business.
Leave is granted and votes will be recorded. Thank you very much. Queen Judith Robinson, the floor is yours.
Yes, good afternoon. Queen Judith Robinson here regarding 260122 and 250917. I have to pray real hard every time I come before this body to make sure the right words come out of my mouth. I want to say, put some respect on my name. 40 years of real estate background. I am truly a housing practitioner, real estate broker, license, etc. So when I say we're asking HUD for millions of dollars for the homelessness budget, which has increased tremendously over the years, we should be reducing homelessness, reducing the amount of money that we spend in the name of homelessness, wheeling and dealing in real estate. The budget for the homelessness, especially with our veterans, should definitely be decreasing. Meanwhile, we're asking the same agency, HUD, for money, $55 million from what I understand, comes to the city of Philadelphia for Philadelphia Housing Authority. Philadelphia Housing Authority is the clog in the wheel. I say it again, and I'm not stuttering when I say it. Philadelphia Housing Authority has been allowed to use eminent domain. Now they're over in Winfield Heights buying up bad debts. They have demolished a lot of high-rises throughout the city of Philadelphia. Now they're taking on high-rises to the tune of $200+ million. Check. I told them 99 times because 98 obviously was not enough. Regarding the Neighborhood Transformation Initiative, this bill regarding demolition, We can't manage what we have from back 20 years ago. $385 million of another bond funding that leaves us with all of these vacant lots and parcels throughout the whole city of Philadelphia. I thank you all so much for your time. Peace.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ann Dorn. I'm speaking in support of 241070A, the elimination of the requirement for resign to run. It's been my observation that there's no substitute for having experienced people in public office. If the elected officials themselves don't have the experience, they end up depending a lot on their staff. I hear the mayor has been handing out this book, Performative Outrage, which talks about how it doesn't go so well when a lot of policy is made behind closed doors, and then the elected officials just like white-knuckling their way through the meetings with the public. The book really does not paint a very attractive picture. It suggests some ways for white-knuckling better, but ideally, we would not be white-knuckling at all. We would engage with one another in a really productive way. Whenever you look back through history, you know, in Shakespeare, the Duke is holding court. In the Bible, the king is holding court. There's just no substitute for making policy in public, with the public watching, and allowing the public some ability to participate. One of the things that this book cautions against, and Councilmember Thomas also cautioned us against in the February 17th meeting, is that when everything is done in private, it creates a fertile ground for conspiracy theories. He's cautioned us against those, and we hope that there won't be any conspiracy theories about, for example, why Joyce Wilkerson has not yet been confirmed to the school board. As a courtesy to the mayor, you've chosen not to vote her nomination down. I would hope, as a courtesy to the people, you would allow us to have a properly legal school board that can make decisions that will hold up in court. There's no substitute for her long institutional memory. As I was saying about resign to run being a bad policy, there's just no substitute. Whatever you do or don't like about her as a person, there's no substitute for her long experience in office and having been in the room when decisions were made. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Corinne Green, Executive Director for Mighty Writers. I stand here today with my team in support of Councilman Young's resolution recognizing March as National Reading Month and March 2nd as Read Across America Day in the city. Reading is not simply an academic milestone, it's a dignity. It is access, it is possibility, it is the quiet yet powerful force that shapes how young people understand themselves and how they can imagine their future. Literacy is not a privilege, it is a right. Yet across Philadelphia, literacy remains one of our city's most urgent challenges. According to Read by Fourth, 71% of Philadelphia fourth graders are not reading at grade level, and the challenges extend beyond childhood. According to Read by Fourth, 71% of our families that are living in housing and in our communities today, adults lack the literacy skills to help that affects employment, financial stability, and the ability to support learning at home. At Mighty Writers, we see the human side of these numbers. In the past year, we've served more than 5,000 young people through our literacy programs that are grounded in writing, mentorship, social-emotional learning, and we've distributed over 3 million pounds of food for more than 70,000 families, because we recognize that literacy and learning cannot be separated from this basic need. We understand that literacy does not exist in isolation. It lives in the intersection of education, stability, confidence, and opportunity. We want to recognize National Reading Month and Read Across America Day offers something deeply meaningful to our city, a collective affirmation that reading is not a luxury, but a fundamental building block of equity and access. For these reasons, Mighty Writers proudly supports and stands behind the resolution and urges its swift passage and implementation. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Obona Higgins, and I'm a fourth-generation chattel slavery survivor. I want to speak on Resolution 250843. This bill says we should lock dumpsters to protect the cleanliness and safety of our neighborhoods. That makes sense. When something causes harm, you just lock it up. But here's what I don't understand. How are we going to lock dumpsters but not lock the city? How are we going to secure trash bins but keep sanctuary city policies in place that leave the larger gate wide open? That's the question. If we believe in protection, then protection has to mean something. Sanctuary city status should not still be in effect if we are serious about securing our communities. We're willing to lock dumpsters, but we're not willing to lock policies that hurt the economic security and safety of American freedmen, the descendants of chattel slavery. The 13th Amendment didn't just end slavery. It ended the badges of slavery. And if gave government the duty to remove them. It gave government the duty to remove the badges of slavery. That duty is not optional, it's constitutional. When American freedmen are pushed to the back of the line in housing, contracts, jobs, and investments, while sanctuary policies expand protections for those who are here unlawfully, that is not equal governance. Maintaining sanctuary city status while failing to constitutionally prioritize American freedmen is a modern day vestige of slavery. So yes, protect the city, but protect it the right way. Put American freedmen first, not as a choice, but as a constitutional mandate. I was going to do what Donald Trump did, with ask y'all to stand up if you agree that Americans are first, but I'll see that when you guys vote next week for the establishment of the Office of Freedmen Affairs. When it's unanimously voted yes, all 17 of you, you will be standing up acknowledging the constitutional citizens,
Thank you, Mr. Obama
the American
Higgins.
freedmen. Obona Higgins, over and out.
Thank you, sir. The chair recognizes Councilmember O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to be recorded as aye on all bills and resolutions, and I would like to request to go handle some council
Leave
business.
is recorded.
Thank you, sir.
As well. Leave is granted, and all votes will be recorded as yea. Chair recognizes Councilmember O'Neill.
On all bills and resolutions except for a nay on resolution 260129.
260129. Leave is granted, and your votes will be officially recorded. Thank you very much, sir.
Council President, there are no further names on the list for public comment.
Thank you very much. We will now consider the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendar. The clerk will please read the title of resolution number 241070-A.
A resolution proposing an amendment to the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter to eliminate the requirement that city officers and employees resign from their city office or employment before becoming candidates for public office, and providing for the submission of the amendment of the electors of Philadelphia.
Chair recognizes Councilman Isaiah Thomas for a motion regarding resolution number 241070-A.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 241070-A be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. The clerk will please read the title of resolution number 260119.
A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 3902, 3906 West Girard Avenue, 3911 through 15 Cambridge Street, located in the 3rd Councilmatic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gauthier for a motion regarding resolution number 260119.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260119 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution number? Chair recognizes Councilmember Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to be recorded as a nay on 241070-A.
241, repeat it again, please.
241070-A.
070-A. It will be recorded as a nay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution number 260122?
A resolution calling on the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, to expand investments into the evidence-based solution to address homelessness that is permanent supportive housing, and condemning the significant negative impacts to such cuts to funding will have on Philadelphia's residents' municipal services and exacerbate our ongoing housing crisis.
The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion regarding resolution number 260122.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260122 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution number 260123?
A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 515 through 33 West Cumberland Street, 2502, 2504, 2506, 2508, 2511 through 21, 2543 through 51 North Fairhill Street, 2506 through 22, 2524, 2526, 2534 through 42 North Reese Street, located in the 7th Councilmatic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Kessie Lozada for a motion regarding resolution number 260123.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260123 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution number 260125?
A resolution calling on Governor Josh Shapiro and the Pennsylvania General Assembly to enact adult-use cannabis legalization in 2026.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Brooks for a motion regarding resolution number 260125.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
Second. It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260125 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution number 260129?
A resolution urging the U.S. Senate to oppose the SAVE Act and reject any additional barrier to voter registration.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Nina Ahmad for a motion regarding resolution number 260129.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that resolution number 260129 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Would the clerk please read the title of resolution of bill number 241056? This bill has been read on 2 different days. The question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
I want to read the title first.
Sure, read the title.
An ordinance providing for the submission to the qualified electors of the City of Philadelphia of the proposal set forth in a resolution approved by council proposing an amendment to the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter to eliminate the requirement that city officers and employees resign from their city office or employment before becoming candidates for public office, and authorizing the appropriate officers to publish notice and make arrangements for the special election.
This bill has been read on 2 different days. The question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips?
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier?
Aye.
Councilmember Thomas?
Aye.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember Landau?
Aye.
Councilmember Losada?
Aye.
Councilmember Young?
Nay.
Councilmember Brooks?
Aye.
Councilmember Harity?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke was aye. Councilmember Driscoll?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill was aye. Councilmember Squilla was aye. Councilmember Bass?
Aye.
Councilmember Ahmed?
Aye.
And Council President Johnson?
Aye, the ayes are 15, the nays are 0. Majority of all, there's 1 nay. Member Young, you a nay? Okay, all right. Let's see. Ayes are 15, the nays are 1. The majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Also, for the record, on 260129 resolution sponsored by Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed, Councilmember Brian O'Neill is a nay, just for the record. The next order of business is the clerk will please read any additional resolutions on today's calendar.
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Chief Inspector Nicholas Smith for his distinguished service, community-centered leadership, and unwavering commitment to public safety in the city of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Phillips.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. The clerk, please read any. Please read the next resolution.
A privileged resolution congratulating the Autumn Reed High School girls basketball team on winning the 2026 Public League Championship against Imhotep High School, securing their 4th straight PPL championship, introduced by Councilmember Thomas on behalf of Council President Johnson.
Chair recognizes Councilman Isaiah Thomas for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. On your behalf, I move for the adoption of the resolution.
Thank you. It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Philadelphia 250 and the Philadelphia Visitor Center Corporation and their Philadelphia community partners for their work on the Ring It On citywide Semiquincentennial initiative, introduced by Councilmember Thomas on behalf of Council President Johnson.
Semiquincentennial. The chair recognizes Councilmember Isaiah Thomas for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I'm excited about the 250th birthday of the country. We'll use that word. And I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. The Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing February 28, 2026 as HIV is not a crime awareness day in the city of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Landau.
The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing the U.S. women's hockey team for winning the gold medal at the 2026 Winter Olympics and representing the United States with distinction, integrity, and excellence, introduced by Councilmember Landau.
The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. We were certainly welcome to this body. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing and celebrating March 2026 as Women's History Month in the city of Philadelphia and championing the power of women who build connections and drive prosperity for all, introduced by Councilmember Lozada.
The chair recognizes Councilman Ketty Lozada for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring the Smedley Bulldog Blitz cheerleaders as the first Philadelphia public elementary school to complete at the UCA Nationals, introduced by Councilmember Lozada.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Ketty Lozada for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution welcoming the 58th Mid-Atlantic Black Law Students Association Regional Convention to the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Young.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for its adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing March as National Reading Month and March 2nd as Read Across America Day in the City of Philadelphia, and further honoring the critical work of community organizations working to expand literacy skills of youth and adults across the City of Philadelphia. Introduced by Councilmember Young.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for its adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing February 23rd to February 27th, 2026 as Public Schools Week and celebrating the essential role of public schools, educators, students, and families in strengthening the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Young.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for its adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing and celebrating Dr. Carol Simmons, Nyoka Carr, Estelle Vaughn, Pella McPhee, Carolyn Booker, Winnie Harris, and the Black women who devote their lives to nourishing their neighbors and communities across Philadelphia on the occasion of Black History Month, introduced by Councilmember Brooks.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Brooks for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the next resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring the Imhotep Charter High School boys basketball team for winning its 6th consecutive Public League championship and celebrating its historic achievement in Philadelphia high school basketball, introduced by Councilmember Bass.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution honoring Pastor Clement M. Lupton III for his outstanding leadership, faithful service, and transformative impact upon the spiritual and civic life of the City of Philadelphia in recognition of Black History Month, introduced by Councilmember Bass.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am honored to move for the adoption of this resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution authorizing the Joint Committees on Public Health and Human Services and the Children and Youth to hold hearings to raise awareness regarding the role of gaming platforms and social platforms and their use in grooming, recruitment, and exploitation of minors, including conduct that may lead to human trafficking, introduced by Councilmember Ahmed.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Hopefully we can sue roadblocks. So, good job, Dr. Nina, man. Maybe we sue him a third time the charm. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing and honoring the Philadelphia Orchestra on the occasion of its 125th anniversary, celebrating its founding in 1900, and its enduring role in establishing Philadelphia as a global center of culture, creativity, and artistic excellence, introduced by Councilmember Ahmed.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
a privileged resolution honoring Angelo Perryman and Perryman Building and Construction for 70 years of excellence, leadership, and lasting impact on the city of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Ahmed.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Ahmed for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
Council President, there are no further resolutions in my possession.
That completes public comment for today. Are there any speeches on behalf of the minority? The chair recognizes Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Council President. Today is our last meeting of Black History Month, and it was wonderful to see so many colors and patterns in chambers today to celebrate African heritage. Thank you to my Chief of Staff, Shakita Gaines, for organizing this tradition at City Council. Today, as part of Black History Month, I introduce a resolution to honor Black women who nourish Philadelphia's communities. These women are at the forefront of urban agriculture, community garden, and food security in our city. And they have been doing the work for decades, often without taking important steps towards building sustainable local food networks that honor our communities, our culture, and our environment. I am grateful and proud to recognize Dr. Carol Simmons, Nyoka Carr, Estelle Vaughn, Pila Maffei, and Carolyn Booker, and to remember the legacy of Ms. Winnie Harris, who passed in 2017. We honor these women by passing this resolution today, but we also know that the best and most important way to honor their work is by ensuring that urban agriculture can continue into the future. That means protecting community gardens, reforming the land bank, and creating better pathways to land security for urban farmers. I look forward to working with all of my colleagues on these issues in the future. Today, I also passed a resolution thanking Josh Shapiro for introducing a budget that legalizes marijuana. Today, City Council called on the Pennsylvania General Assembly to support the governor's plan. Pennsylvania's cannabis laws have caused enormous harm to Black communities across the state, and change is long overdue. We need laws to support local Black entrepreneurs in the industry and repair the harm of criminalization. Legalizing marijuana can also bring hundreds of millions of dollars here in much needed revenue to the city and state. I hope 2026 is a year that Pennsylvania finally legalizes adult use cannabis, and we begin to see the many benefits of our economy and our communities. It makes no sense that Philadelphians can travel over to New Jersey and spend their money to buy legal weed, yet we remain sitting on the sidelines as a state. I also want to take a moment to invite all of my colleagues to next week's People's Hearing on Reproductive Health. We will be hearing stories from community members who have been impacted by the cuts to funding for reproductive care, and a range of experts on the needs and challenges here in Philadelphia. I hope to see many of you there on Thursday, March the 5th at 6 p.m. at the Friends Center. Childcare and food will be provided. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes speeches of the majority. Chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to start off with our schools. This week, I sent 2 separate letters to advocate for Waring School and Lankenau High School, and to keep pushing for a process that people can actually follow. When a school is even mentioned in the context of closure or consolidation, families do not experience that as a planning exercise. They feel it as right away. It affects enrollment decisions, staff morale, and the stability of programs long before any final decisions are made. We owe these communities clarity, transparency, and respect, and we owe them a process where the public can see the logic, verify the inputs, and understand what happens next. And there's a meeting today which will be addressing this. The school board is meeting on this issue. And there's a press conference that PFT is having right before that. On a lighter note, I wanted to take a moment to recognize something positive and truly Philadelphian. Today, we honored the Philadelphia Orchestra on its 125th anniversary. It was really technically 126 because the 125th happened last year, but we presented a citation celebrating what it has meant to our city and to come for generations. I also recognized Angelo Perriman and his daughter Angelina Perriman for the legacy of Perriman Building and Construction and its lasting impact on Philadelphia. We will be doing a presentation with him to present the engrossed copy, and that is going to come at a later date, but I just wanted to make sure this is in the record. And I wanted to finally thank my colleagues who supported the resolution urging the Senate to reject the SAFE Act. The House has already acted, but this bill is still pending in the Senate, so this is the moment to speak up. This SAVE Act would add new documentation hurdles for eligible voters, and those hurdles would fall hardest on people who already face barriers, including women who have changed their names after marriage, naturalized citizens, seniors, students, and working families. Protecting elections should never mean making it harder for eligible Americans to vote. I encourage constituents to contact their senators now and oppose the SAVE Act while it is still under consideration. And next, I wanted to mention my online grooming resolution that I introduced today. This is not theoretical and it is not rare. It is happening to young people across platforms, and it can start with something like that looks harmless before it turns into coercion, exploitation, or lasting trauma. Parents are trying to keep up, schools are trying to respond, and too often the system only catches it after damage is done. I'm looking forward to holding a joint hearing between the Committee on Public Health and Human Services and Committee on Children and Youth so we can hear from experts, from parents, and young people. The goal is to focus on prevention, reporting pathways that families can trust, and the support that would be in place when a child is at risk. Finally, a scheduling note for the public, the reproductive health hearing that was rescheduled is now on Monday, March 2nd at 1 p.m. I encourage residents to tune in, submit testimony, and stay engaged, because this is about access to care, accurate information, and the ability of people to make decisions based about their health with dignity, and also to identify gaps. Thank you, Council President. I yield back.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Council Member Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to remind the public that we have all of the residents of the 9th District that we are continuing to have our town halls that are happening. If you go to our social media, you will see all of our town halls, or join our listserv, or call our office at 215-686-3454. We have one tonight for the lower Northeast at Housing and Recreation Center from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Located at 5091 Summerdale Avenue. Our town halls are opportunities for you to share your concerns about public safety, neighborhood services, youth programming, and community development. Our office believes in listening. And next month, we will be listening, honoring, and supporting Chief Inspector Nicholas Smith, and I'm looking forward to recognizing him with all of you next month. So with that being said, also, I'd like to thank my fiance for joining me today to visit, taking away time from her day-to-day just to come see us.
Smart young man.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
Smart young man. Chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. It seems that as elected officials, you know, we take in a lot of stuff about us. People say a lot of vile stuff about us. It seems like we're not allowed to have a sense of humor about it as well. But I want my constituents to know, my constituents do know that in the 5th Council District, we are fighting each and every day to improve their lives. And with that, this week, I want to thank my colleagues for passing a resolution honoring or welcoming hundreds of law students from across our region to Philadelphia as they descend for the 58th Annual Regional Convention of the Mid-Atlantic Black Law Students Association. It's taking place February 25th through March 1st at the Sonesta Hotel, also in the 5th Council District. Law students, legal professionals, and advocates from across the region will gather in the spirit of this year's theme, Liberty Calling, Echoes of Progress. So we hope all of those who are visiting our city will fall in love with our city. We hope you bring your talents to the city of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And I encourage everyone who is interested in the law or being an attorney in any way to check out their convention. Also want to thank my colleagues for passing the resolution today honoring and recognizing March as National Reading Month and March 2nd as Read Across America Day. I want to thank some of those organizations who participated today: Mighty Writers, Read by Fourth, Read to Succeed, Barbershop Books, Beyond Literacy, the Strawberry Mansion Learning Center, and also I want to thank Mr. Wick Savage for testifying as well. So literacy remains, as you heard today, is one of the biggest crises that we have in the city of Philadelphia. And 70% of our fourth graders cannot read at grade level. That's 70%. And then you heard another statistic that said that 70% of households living in housing, their parents can't read. So if the parents can't read, this is the probability that the child will be able to read is very, very low. And so we have to do more to strengthen literacy, expand literacy for all. Literacy remains one of the strongest predictors of long-term educational success, economic mobility, and positive health outcomes. So we need to continue to invest in our children as our city struggles with this literacy crisis in our city. Also want to thank you all for passing a resolution naming this week as Public Schools Week. This is a national celebration of public schools in our society. We know that public schools play a critical role in educating generations of students, fostering civic engagement, and preparing young people to become productive citizens. Every day, every neighborhood deserves to have a quality and thriving public schools. We must remember that public education belongs to the people and not special interests, right? And so I look forward to having, conversations tonight, as my council colleague alluded to, at the School District of Philadelphia Board of Education, where we will the board will formally be presented the facilities plan. I'll be in attendance tonight alongside educators, families, union members, to hear the discussion about school closures, consolidations, and also the receiving schools from these plans, right? And also want to understand what these catchment lines look like and ensure that there's equity in that. So we want to make sure that student voices are heard, parent voices are heard, the educators are heard. And tonight is a critical opportunity to make your experiences, your concerns, and your solutions a part of the public record. Transparency matters. Community deserves clear information about decision-making criteria, the timeline, and the long-term impact before any decision is made. So public engagement does not end with the release of this plan, right? This is where it begins now when it's formally presented to the school board. So we encourage everyone who cares about the future of public education in the city of Philadelphia to attend and to testify on that. And Mr. President, one final note. Today we did introduce legislation which I think clarifies a interpretation of our zoning code. Most zoning officials, zoning practitioners, and code officials interpret this particular section of our code to mean that if you have a use registration permit and you do not obtain what's called a certificate of occupancy within 6 months, then your use registration permit lapses. I think that this is, this comes down to literacy and interpretation and comprehension skills of folks. There's a narrative being pushed that that's not what the common interpretation is. But currently on zoning permits, currently right now, it clearly says, for zoning permits not involving development, meaning if there are no construction documents associated with your permit, you have 6 months to change your use. And so what this bill does today is clarify that says, and adds a specific sentence to the code that says zoning permits without construction documents and use registrations you have 6 months to change that particular use. That's been the common interpretation. Just want to clarify that for those who are not zoning practitioners or code officials. There's no misunderstanding or misinterpretation of our zoning code. And I look forward to having those hearings and those discussions with my colleagues as we advance this legislation through Philadelphia City Council. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Rulandau.
Thank you, Council President. Today I introduced a resolution to recognize HIV as not a crime day. My journey in LGBTQ plus advocacy began during the early years of the HIV and AIDS epidemic. While people living with HIV can now better manage their diagnosis, this work is far from complete. The stigmatization and criminalization of HIV persists even after all of the advancements we've made. Criminalizing HIV, as we do in Pennsylvania, does not enhance public health. Rather, it fosters hatred, discourages testing, and prevents those in need of treatment from seeking it out. Recently, the Trump administration announced a $600 million cut into HIV prevention and other public health programs. This funding loss jeopardizes years of progress in LGBTQ plus healthcare, and we must protect all our Philadelphians, especially the queer community, from stigmatization and access to testing, preventative drugs, and support. Today, I also introduced a resolution honoring the U.S. women's hockey team who brought home the gold medal at the Winter Olympics, representing the United States with excellence. I was so pleased to have Ed Snyder, Youth Hockey and Education, here to speak to the importance of women's sports, not just in Philadelphia, but across the world. Women's sports uplifts communities, promotes gender equity, and inspires future generations to pursue excellence. I can't speak for that guy in the White House, but I am very proud of what the U.S. women's team has accomplished. Finally, last week, alongside Councilmember Gaudier, I introduced a resolution urging the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, to increase investments in permanent supportive housing, an evidence-based solution to homelessness. These funds are essential for organizations that offer crucial services to ensure that our most in need residents have a safe place to stay. Thank you to all of the people who provided powerful testimony today, including lived experience. And for everybody who came out to public comment today on these issues, thank you very much.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would state for the record that I would party with everybody in City Council, but particularly Member Brooks. She goes to the neighborhood she's still from, and she is respected in that neighborhood. So I would hang out with her first, and I'd line the rest of y'all up. So I want her to know that. However, on the resolution supporting the governor's efforts to legalize marijuana, I would then hold her responsible for certain key things. Ask yourself right now, at your home, when you walk out the door, what do you have a higher probability of running into? A book, a vegetable, marijuana, or a gun? If you can say marijuana enhances the quality of life, that if you put it at the corner store nearest you, that people responsibly are going to handle that, or in some parts of the 4th District, I know that that's going to go on top of liquor by the drink, Lucy cigarettes, gambling machines. And so there is a difference in how the majority leader has been fighting for regulation of stores that have become a plague in our community. Let's not add on, let's add regulations too, so that if you violate liquor by the drink, if you violate Lucy cigarettes, or if you sell illegal marijuana, 3 times you out. No, you can't sell it to your cousin. No, you can't open up next week. No, we're gonna hold you to a higher standard for our children. So as long as we do that, I know we need the revenue. I know we're fighting for SEPTA. I know we're fighting for public education. We gotta figure out what's the hard we're willing to live with. Choose your hard. But even with your hard, you gotta know how to regulate it so that it minimizes some of the negative impacts on our community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. There are no more speeches. On behalf of the majority, the chair recognizes Councilman Cindy Bass for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that council stands adjourned until Thursday, March 5th, 2026 at 10 a.m.
All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Ayes have it, and we are adjourned.